Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Insigma Theory's channel. I'm going to be casting another game from lolbet.com. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, if you go to lolbet.com, you can spectate live games that are going on and bet sort of a fake money point thing. But it's really exciting and it's really awesome. You guys should definitely check it out. I've actually been having a blast just sort of like predicting which team's going to win, betting points on it, and at the end of each season, if you have enough points or if you have above a certain amount of points, there's just prizes that are given out, so you definitely should check it out as well. But anyway, so we're going to be spectating and commentating a game from that site right now. So, without any further ado, we do have Virus playing Draven for the blue team. Here's the 80 carry bottom lane with support. It's PJ as Janna. On the blue team jungle, we have Azingi being played as the jungler mid, playing Maokai. We have Salsi playing Syndra in the mid lane as the AP, and then Caitlyn being played as the top lane from Prab. On the red team for the bottom lane, we have Brunch Yu playing Vayne as the AD carry. Getting harassed a little bit there by Virus, and it's PJ. Tarek stun coming down from Maple Street, quite literally from Maple Street. Azingi coming down in from a twisted advance onto Maple Street. Maple Street getting taken down. Virus flashing in to finish off this Vayne, but Vayne makes it out with just a sliver of health. So the red team also has Shadow mid lane with that AP Anivia, and then Sick Motion jungling the Skarner, as well as the Lee Sin Turtle Dunks top lane as that bruiser. So yeah, it's obviously Caitlyn versus Skarner, or Caitlyn versus Lee Sin top lane. So obviously blue team does have two AD carries, kind of a different little bit of a strat, which means the only real tanky member is that Azingi. But if he's aggressive enough, especially into fights, that's gonna work out pretty well. I mean, obviously with the red team, you do have the Lee Sin bruiser. He is gonna get a bit tanky, but right now Salsi focusing down onto Shadow. The Anivia egg comes out. Shadow is taking a ton of damage from Syndra. Syndra finishing him off. Salsi getting a kill out of this one. And right now, Salsi at 17 CS with 1 kill to Anivia's 13 CS with none at that point. Does have an assist though. Skarner's Sick Motion coming in towards the mid to sort of clear that one out from Maple Street, warding these bushes, trying to keep that lane control up. Janna here is being very aggressive. Now remember, the supports still are level 2. Draven is level 3 at this point, so he's the highest level in the lane, as he did get that kill onto Tarek earlier. Vayne here just kind of trading back and forth. Right now, mid lane Sick Motion still pushing onto this mid lane turret, clearing out the waves. Azingi here putting some hurt onto Sick. Sick taking a ton of damage there from the Q from Zingi. Azingi actually getting focused down by the Anivia. No, Anivia does not have her egg. Salsi comes in from behind with the Syndra. Starts to try to lay down the balls onto Skarner. Skarner actually being able to make it out alive at this one, and Syndra not focusing down the Anivia either. So playing a little bit safe. If she turns this around a little bit too early, she's really not able to sort of clear that one out, as her cooldowns were still on. The later the game goes on, the shorter her cooldowns are going to be, but as it stands right now, her cooldowns are still kind of in the long range. I mean, obviously besides her Q, the other ones are still pretty long as it stands. So up in the top lane, we have Caitlyn sitting on 38 CS to 24 from Lee Sin, so she is really just bullying him out of the lane. And that's really what Lee Sin needs in the mid lane. A stun coming in from Salsi, tossing a ball right on top of the Anivia. Anivia actually getting forced onto it by Azingi. Salsi finishes off the kill. Skarner having to back out of this one as he can't quite fight that alone. But yeah, as running a AD carry top lane, especially against the Lee Sin, it's actually not a horrible idea to sort of break the meta in that idea. I mean, obviously, you do now have one less bruiser, one less, tanky champion, but you can bully the Lee Sin, and Lee Sin really, really needs to get early advantages. Salsi actually having to flash away from Sick Motion. Sick did just hit level 6 from the lane creep, so Salsi having to flash away, trying to stay safe, not getting ulted back onto the tower, but Azingi starting to head towards top lane. Caitlyn does have a Doran's Blade and the level 2 boots. Turtle Dunks might get dived on here by Azingi. He does head straight into the bush. Azingi gets kicked on by Turtle. Turtle's starting to run out of this one. He doesn't have a ward, so he can't jump to it just yet. He actually had to safeguard to himself, giving himself a shield just to let out a little bit longer, kicking the Azingi away and then flashing back out. That was a pretty solid gank, though, as they did burn the flash and the ult. Brunch taking a ton of damage from Draven, but Skarner was there to hold this one out. So Skarner there getting the kill onto it. Turtle Dunks and Brunch right now are in the red. They lost a lot of health, especially in those last fights. Shadow here heading towards the blue buff. Looks like he's just going to steal the blue buff straight up. But yeah, Zingy actually having to back out of that top lane. So Anivia right now is pretty free to just take this blue buff. Salsi really kind of does rely on the blue. I mean, obviously not as much as Anivia, knowing Anivia is one of the most mana-heavy champions in the entire game. Anivia is actually not level 6, so she's going to be really slow clearing this one out. She's actually really low from this one, too. She does have her egg up. Maokai comes in from behind. He is able to smite this one, so Shadow actually denying the blue buff from Syndra, but still, Maokai does have it. Twist advances onto Anivia. Anivia actually gets taken down before her egg comes back up. Lee Sin is actually able to make it out of this one alive. Zingy flashing on top of him. Now he does have the twisted advance. They are going to dive right onto the turret. Turtle Dog's taking a ton of damage. Syndra actually ulting him, and then Skarner coming in from behind. Now Skarner does not have his ult. He used it earlier when that came to that bottom lane gank, but Prab was there to finish off that Lee Sin from the dive. Draven and Janna heading up towards the river. They are going to ward off the dragon, but it looks like they're going to work to steal the blue buff. And right now, those of you that are tuning in, this is kind of the point where you actually cannot bet anymore. So if you're not aware of how LulBet works, you can bet for the first 10 minutes of a game. Now, since there is a 3-minute delay on the spectator, since it's 8 minutes in, looks like it's just about to be 9 minutes in, the betting would have stopped about 2 minutes ago. But this is a lot of fun to sort of watch, and you can actually live spectate yourself and watch the games and see how it turns out themselves. Alright, so right now, mid lane, we do have both APs not having the blue buff. Draven was able to steal the blue from that Anivia, which Anivia now has to remain really safe in lane. She still does not have her ult yet. Looks like she's just, she hasn't even leveled her wall yet. She's just focused on her Q and her E. Maokai finishing up the red. He does have his own blue buff. Sick, though, does not have his own, so mana regen is really a big issue. Draven starting to work away at the Vayne. Vayne getting knocked up by the whirlwind. Draven just still pushing into it, but the Vayne is able to just stay alive a little bit longer. He's going to be really careful at this point, though, because there goes the Draven ult. Draven ult's on to Vayne. Vayne taking a ton of damage. It looks like he's actually able to make it alive. Zingy coming in from behind. Vayne gets taken down by a twisted advance. And holy cow, that was really dangerous at this point. Crab right now, really into the front lane of Lee Sin. This is not where you want to be, especially as an AD carry. Just straight up fighting in melee range of a Lee Sin. But he did take a turret shot there, and he has to sit behind the minions, so a kick can't come off. And there it is. Lee Sin taking a ton of damage from that Piltover shot. Caitlyn right now with the 2 Doran's Blades and the Vampiric Scepter really able to sustain in lane. Now Lee Sin did have to pick up that early Ninja Tabby to deal with the harass, especially from Caitlyn. Kicking onto a minion. Caitlyn is able to net back out of this fight. Now, Lee Sin needs to be extremely careful here. He actually lands on top of a trap, and he actually has to leave this fight right now. He cannot stay. If he stays, there's a really good chance that Caitlyn is able to take him out. He's going to let those potions work their magic, trying to get himself back up in health. And then right now, Vayne sitting at bottom lane with 40 CS against the Draven with 69. Alright, here's the lanes, working those out. Yeah, there it is. Alright. So, right now, Salsi and Shadow working out this mid lane. Salsi does have, and get that tooltip out of the way, so Salsi does have the mana regen when it comes to it. She does have the Chalice. There it is. Prab actually getting dived on by the Skarner and the Lee Sin. Prab getting taken down by getting the finishing kill as Skarner. Zingy headed towards that top lane with those mobility boots and the Philosopher's Stone. He still doesn't have an Oracle's just yet, but he's still actually able to keep into this lane. Sick Motion is out of mana at this point. He did build a Kindle Gem, so he runs out of mana really quickly, especially spamming that Q and his other spells, like obviously his ult and his W. So every time he can, he just really drains his mana. Right now, bottom lane, Virus actually getting pushed onto by the Vayne. Vayne actually using Cleanse, keeping out of this one alive, trying to trade this one back and forth. Tarek is able to keep the harass up, use those stuns, and force the fight. Both AD carries get taken down, and right now it's a battle of the supports. Is Janna going to make it out of this one alive? She does, and she is able to land off the taunt, while Tarek is able to laugh and just say, haha, you couldn't kill me. good luck next time. But yeah, right now we obviously have Lee Sin sitting at 57 CS to the 77 from Caitlyn. Skarner is slightly ahead when it comes to gold, but only very just slightly. He has 3,900 gold, whereas Azingi only has 3,600. Right now heading towards bottom lane. Azingi is there. The shield is onto him, but from Maple Street is going to make it out of this one just live. Now his sick motion going to force this one out. He does have the ult. He ults onto Janna. Anivia is coming in from behind. Draven's coming in from the lane as well. PJ gets stunned out by the Anivia. Anivia able to finish that one off. Now Azingi following this one up. Anivia does not have her. There is their egg. The egg pops. Virus getting pushed down onto by Vayne. Now if Anivia is able to keep alive, Anivia actually gets focused down by Salsa. Sick motion continuing on to the Draven. Draven actually staying just barely alive. The double kill coming in from Salsa. And Draven did not go down on that fight, leaving with 58 health. That was extremely low, and all the while, Caitlyn just poking down this Lee Sin so hard. He has 69 health when she chases him out, although she doesn't have any mana, but he was able to safeguard, keep himself alive for just a little bit longer. And remember, guys, I am also doing this on my live stream, so if you have not checked it out, you can go to twitch.tv/InsigmaTheory, where I'll be casting most of these games live as well. This one's just going on my YouTube, so I'm recording it as we go. And Ungopher says, League of Draven. So from Maple Street, popping on to the AD carry, using that stun and the shatter, really being aggressive. But right now he does have lower armor, and he does have lower magic resist, so the damage that he takes from the Janna and the AD carry is really huge. Salsa right now was just waiting there for that bottom lane, but he had to get out because he was really low. Anivia pushing down that turret. Now, this is the proper response, especially when you're in a mid lane AP carry. When you're not a champion like LeBlanc or Kassadin that can gank extremely fast, and you notice that your AP carry is in another lane or ganking, generally, you don't always want to follow. It's actually better off for you to just push to the turret, clear out as many minions, and then deny as much as possible. That's a huge deal. So Azingi right now counter-jungling, clearing up those little wraiths, but he does not see the Skarner. Skarner actually smites the red buff. Azingi might have to actually back out of this one. And there comes Anivia back to mid lane. He does have blue buff, but he is really low, so he doesn't quite want to straight up fight this Salsa. Salsa actually trying to throw a stun here onto Anivia, misses just slightly. Jenna's the only one back in the lane from this bottom. There is Lee Sin getting dived on by Zingy, using that twisted advance onto him. Lee Sin just starting to back over that wall. He does have the safeguard, and he is going to be able to make it out of this one alive. Caitlyn going back to lane to farm. Caitlyn sitting at 107 farm to 71 from Lee Sin. Right now, Vayne and Tarek looks like they want to start to dive onto this Janna. Here comes Virus back into lane. He does have a BF sword, whereas Vayne still only has the one Doran's blade. Keep wanting to call her Varus. I have no idea why. Now, there are no wards in this on these bushes, so they don't see the Skarner here ready for a gank. But right now, mid lane is diving in for it. Salsi misses the stun. Zingy does have his own blue buff, though, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But right now, Skarner is still bot lane. They are just pushing that turret mid. Janna here committing onto a fight onto Vayne. Stun coming out onto the AD carry. Janna popping her ult, but there's the ult from Skarner onto Virus. Virus getting taken down as well. Zingy coming down from the river. They're diving straight onto this Janna. Now, Vayne is going to be able to make it back out of this one, but Zingy coming in from behind commits onto the Vayne. Tossing a little present, a little treat. Twisted advance coming on to Vayne, knocking him back just slightly. I know he did cleanse out of this one, so he's able to keep himself alive just a wee bit longer. If he can make it out alive, Salsa popping down a Q, taking out this Vayne, and from Maple Street is going to get focused down as well. So Salsa here picking up a double kill from that bottom lane. It was obviously, you know, a good trade in the start, but when Salsa came down to sort of gank out and help out that fight, that was just huge, especially for the red team. So right now, Lee Sin sort of just poking down onto this Caitlyn. 24,800 gold for the blue team. Salsa actually forcing down this Anivia and pushing him back out. But here comes Sick Motion coming in from behind. Now, he does not have his ult, so he can't straight up just pull him back. Salsa can possibly make it out of this one alive. There's a lot of those balls coming out. He did stun the Sick Motion for just barely, but shut down by the Skarner, and then Lee Sin coming in from behind as well. But blue team does pick up a dragon and that top lane turret. as it goes. There's so much action going on here, it's really hard to follow. Lee Sin here trying to get a kickoff onto a Zingy, getting knocked up just slightly, kicking him back. Sick motion doing a ton of damage, and exhaust coming down onto the Lee Sin. Lee Sin getting taken down. Is the Zingy going to go down as well? Zingy flashes back out with the Janna shield. There's the Draven ult. Zingy twisted advances back in and makes it out alive in that fight. But right now, Vayne and Taric focusing down onto the Draven, getting condemned back. Is Virus going to be able to make it out alive on this one? There's the tumble coming in from Vayne, a knockup coming out from Janna. There's the shield onto Virus. He actually makes it out alive of this one. What is going on? This is absolutely insane. Anivia right now sitting up top lane, just trying to get her farm down, trying to keep the lane from getting completely pushed. So right now, both AD carries from this side, they do have BF swords. Actually, Draven just finishing up his Bloodthirster, but Caitlyn right now does have her BF sword as well. If we check the money, she has 1,500 gold, so she could actually build a BF sword if she wanted to as well. It looks like she might be able to do that one, just seeing what she buys as it is. Vayne right now, she does have her BF sword, but she might... let's see here. She has 91 CS and 4,000 total gold, so she's not going to be able to buy too much more pretty quickly. She's going to have to wait for another at least 400 gold to get the Bloodthirster. But a Black Cleaver coming out from Caitlyn as well instead of the BF sword. So right now, Draven is heading back towards the bottom lane. Vayne going to have to back straight out of this one, as she was completely out of mana. Skarner just clearing his jungle. Zingy counter jungling at the same time. Turtle Dunks right now at this top lane. He's actually in a really dangerous position. I don't think he knows that this Maokai is here just yet. Here comes Caitlyn coming in from behind. Turtle Dunk starts to go onto it, sees the Zingy coming in from the back. Shirley is popping out from a Zingy. He's chasing down onto it. A kick goes down onto the double golems, but those were not there, so he wasn't able to juke straight up over that wall. Right now, Skarner and Lee Sin are heading towards Salsi. Salsi is kind of in a dangerous spot. He actually goes back in towards the lane. Skarner, Shirelius, and ulting onto Salsi. Salsi might be able to flash over the wall, but a kick knocks him back, keeping him from flashing. Takes him out at the same time. Top lane turret gets taken down by this Caitlyn. A Zingy getting focused down by the Lee Sin, knocking him up, trying to keep himself alive. Now, Skarner does not have his ult, remember that. But a Black Cleaver actually doing a ton of work. Lee Sin popping over the wall, trying to save this Skarner. Twisted Advance coming in from a Zingy onto the Lee Sin. Skarner getting forced down by the Caitlyn. Caitlyn is really low at this point. The shield comes in. Skarner gets taken down by Caitlyn, but Lee Sin finishes her off during this fight. Anivia coming in from behind, so does Vayne. Zingy's in a really bad place right now. He doesn't have the damage to finish off this Lee Sin. There he is, just running out of this one, trying to stay alive. Twisted Advance back onto it, trying not to go down without a fight. Lee Sin actually might go down. He doesn't actually continue the fight, and Lee Sin gets taken down. Or Lee Sin stays alive, Zingy gets taken down. That was really close, however, he could have done that. But bot lane right now is just taking advantage of this. Now, they had to send all 4 members to clear out that Maokai, as he's just so tanky. You really can't send one person that's not super fed to deal with it. Draven has his Bloodthirster, is really able to just push through the turrets, especially with that Janna shield for the AD increase. So right now, both AD carries right now are kind of even when it comes to items, but the obvious gold difference is that Draven is sitting on 7,300 total gold, whereas Vayne only has about 5,500. Turtle Dog's getting dived on here by Salsi. Salsi did use his ult and the Ignite. Is he able to kill it off? Lee Sin actually gets taken down. Skarner coming in from behind. Salsi is in kind of a bad position. Wall goes down on himself. Flash coming in from both champions. Q comes in from Shadow. Was not able to land it, but Skarner's just running through the jungle. Now, maybe Salsi can get out of this one alive. She backs right here, and we all gotta be really quiet. Maybe she won't get spotted. Ward comes down right on top of her. Taric using that dazzle, and she gets taken out. Zingy right here behind the jungle, starting to go, forcing down onto that Shadow. Now, remember, Shadow does have the Anivia egg. Zingy is just going all in. He says, you know what? If I'm going down, I'm gonna try to take her with me. But that was just so much damage. Even when you saw that Maokai ult turn that damage around, that was still a pretty big hit, but he just was not able to deal with it. Right now, taking stock, we do have Skarner. He is finishing up that Frozen Heart. Anivia did finish her level 2 boots. She actually went for Merc Treads rather than Sorcerer's Shoes to deal with the crowd control and the magic resist from Syndra. Sick Motion committing to a fight right now. Popping the Shurelya's, using that flash, going on to Caitlyn. Caitlyn getting lead, actually missing the Q onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn just trying to fight her way out of this one. Caitlyn going down. Draven gets exhausted, so his damage output is dropped. Janna right now does have her Oracle, so she'd be a prime target to get taken out. But it looks like they're just going to disengage out of this one. Red team picking up a kill. So blue team right now at 37,400 gold, whereas red team is at 27,000. 17 kills for the blue team, 13 for the red. Syndra actually able to steal those wolves away from the Lee Sin. Now, Janna is coming into the Baron buff, sees that no wards are down, so they are going to try to sneak a Baron. Now, the members of red team are just not here yet. Vayne and Taric had to go back and heal. They're still healing at this point. Lee Sin is the only one there. He does pop a ward down. The ward gets taken out, so they don't quite have vision of it yet. Shadow's right behind it, just trying to dissuade the action from happening. Stun happens on top of Lee Sin. Ult from Salsi onto Lee. Picks him up. Shadow gets taken out as well. Excuse me. There's so much going on. I'm losing my voice. Holy cow. This is just insane. There's so much going on. Blue team picks up the Baron. I'm so flabbergasted at this point. This game is just action-packed and ready to go. And these are just the examples of the featured games that you pick up on lolbet.com. If you head on over there, you can bet on these games happening. So those of you that bet on a Zingy, bet on the blue team to win, you might be seeing some point increases. Who knows? But either way, we're having a good time. Sick Motion here, taking a little bit of harass. The mid lane turret gets taken down. Maokai and Caitlyn just continuing to push bot and top. I gotta get another drink here. This is just... There's so much going on. It's insane. Okay. Maokai clearing out that top lane jungle. Salsi having to back out. Let's see what he buys. Did he buy? What did he buy? Alright, so he did finish off the Athene's Unholy Grail. He's got his Rabadons. Right now, Anivia doesn't quite have any of the major, huge items. Lee Sin and Azingi committing to a fight here. Now, Azingi is almost out of mana, but he does have the Baron buff, and he's really tanky. He does have his Frozen Heart, so there's not really much that Lee Sin can deal with this, as he only really has the Sunfire cape. But here comes Sick Motion coming in from behind. They are keeping Azingi here. Taric and Anivia coming in from behind as well. Kick coming down onto Azingi, pushing him out of the bush. A stun coming down, Twist advancing onto Taric. Azingi gets taken out by 4 members of the red team. Alright, Salsi right now, just trying to poke something out, trying to get some form of fight going. Sick Motion does have his ult. Salsi actually gets taken out, but not before ulting onto the Vayne, and Vayne getting just absolutely shredded straight up from that Salsi. Now, Caitlyn and Janna here trying to force out this Skarner from the fight. Keep in mind, Skarner does not have his, or he does, yeah, there he goes, just popping his ult onto the Virus. Virus gets taken down right after he finishes off Anivia. Caitlyn pushing down onto Skarner. Skarner gets taken down as well. Now remember, this turret is gone. They can just take out this inhibitor, because there's really no one to guard. They just have, obviously, the Taric, and the Lee Sin is still pushing top. Blue team right now is going to get their first inhibitor at 26 minutes is about when they're going to finish it. That Black Cleaver and the Phantom Dancer just... Caitlyn is just attacking so fast, it's almost impossible to see her do it. You just see that attack speed animation. That's right, you can't see it. She's attacking extremely fast. Stun coming down from Taric onto Caitlyn, and Vayne is not there to follow up or any sort of damage. The inhibitor here, remember this inhibitor turret that got taken out by Draven and Janna earlier? It looks like they might be forcing down the inhibitor here. No, they're just going to have to back out from this one. Stun coming down onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn cleansing out of it. Janna actually pushing Vayne out into this. Caitlyn, is this fight going to go in their way? Vayne actually, holy cow, did you see those tumbles? Dodging all of the skill shots from that Caitlyn. Janna flashing over the wall, trying to keep herself alive in this fight. I know it's absolutely terrible for me to say holy cow on a cast. It's just so bad, but I couldn't help it. It's so exciting. Turtle Ducks here getting focused down by the Maokai, actually safeguarding out of the Twisted Advance. Shadow getting focused down by the Salsi. Salsi gets ulted by the Skarner, and it's just a huge cluster of just fights going down. Draven ending up picking off the Vayne and the Lee Sin. Syndra finishing off that Skarner from behind. Shadow trying to get down any damage she can possibly get onto Janna, and that was 4 for 1. Salsi was the only one on the blue team to fall at that point. Virus right now just continuing to push mid. Looks like, yeah, he's gonna go for bot, get out that inhibitor as well. Blue team right now sitting on 50,000 gold. No, he's just going for the game, and so a GG comes in from the red team. Congratulations, Zingy, Salsi, Prab, Virus, and it's PJ on winning this ranked solo queue game. Those of you that voted for the blue team, I know I did. You guys want some points as well. So those of you checking this out on my YouTube, you guys could go here to the lolbet.com. You can actually check out, yeah, see, there's the main site. You sign in for an account, and you get these points. You can bet on games, you get money, or you get RP prizes, and there could be some other prizes coming up. It depends on if they get sponsors or just whatever. This site is actually really awesome, and it's growing. The other day it was really low in the amount of people, and now we have 3,981. In fact, the last 2 games that I've casted, we've grown, or this site has grown in 100 betting people signing up. So that's really huge. You guys should definitely check it out. Thank you for tuning in here on my YouTube, youtube.com/InsigmaTheory. You should follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/InsigmaTheory, and all of my stuff gets posted to my Twitter @InsigmaTheory. I'll see you guys next time.